Everybody wants to win. Everybody talks about success. They say they want the mansion on the hill, the Lambo in the driveway, the private jet on standby, the bank account with zeros that don't stop. But here's the reality: most people are full of it. They don't actually want to win. They want the result but not the sacrifice. They want the trophy without the training. They want the celebration without the suffering. And that's why they stay where they are stuck, broke, average, irrelevant. Most people are addicted to comfort. That's their drug. They love their soft bed, their warm meals, their entertainment, their easy life. But let me make something very clear. Success and comfort do not live in the same house. You don't get both. You choose one and the other dies. The man who chooses comfort kills his dreams. The man who chooses greatness kills his comfort. It's one or the other. That's the law. The biggest lie society tells you is that you can balance your way to the top. You can't. Balance is a trap. Balance is for the middle class, the winners, the savages, the giants. They're not balanced. They're obsessed. They're focused. They've sacrificed so much that mediocrity is no longer even in their vocabulary. You can't be balanced when you're building an empire. You've got to go all in. You've got to be extreme. You want to make millions. You want to live a life where no one tells you what to do, where to go, how much you can spend, how many days off you get. Then understand this: your life right now is the result of the sacrifices you've refused to make. Your body, your bank account, your mindset. They're all reflections of what you've tolerated, and if you're not where you want to be, it's because you've tolerated weakness. You've tolerated excuses. You've tolerated being average. That ends now. If you've got the guts for it, you need to kill the old version of you, that version that snoozes the alarm, that eats trash food and calls it a cheat day, that scrolls through Instagram for 45 minutes watching other people live their dreams while you do nothing, that complains about not having enough money but won't even read one book or build one skill that could change your situation. That version of you is dead weight. If you don't cut him off, he will drag you to the grave. The successful version of you is waiting, but he's not coming to save you. You have to become him. You have to become the version of yourself who sacrifices what's easy for what's right, who doesn't care about likes, opinions, or validation, who trains when it's inconvenient, works when he's exhausted, and fights through the pain like it's part of the plan. Because it is. Look around. The people who are making it are not the most talented. They're not the smartest. They're not even the most connected. They're the most committed. They're the ones who made sacrifices when others made excuses. They said no to the party. They said no to sleeping in. They said no to being average, and they didn't say it once. They said it every single day. Most people don't fail because of lack of opportunity. They fail because they're soft, weak-minded, emotional. One little inconvenience and they fold. One setback and they give up. They break. The second life punches them in the mouth. And here's what separates the winners: they don't run from the pain. They seek it out. They invite the pressure. They thrive under stress because they know that's where the diamonds are forged. Stop looking for motivation. You're not always going to feel like doing it. That's the whole point. If you only move when you feel like it, you're finished. You need to become the type of person who moves regardless of how he feels. Discipline over emotion, every single time. The man who wins is the one who wakes up before the sun, not because he loves mornings, but because his goals demand it. He hits the gym not because he feels strong, but because he's building strength. He reads books not because he's bored, but because he knows knowledge is ammo in a world full of ignorant sheep. He builds businesses, learns skills, stacks money, not because he's greedy, but because he refuses to be a slave to the system. Success is war, and in war there are casualties. If you're not willing to sacrifice something, then prepare to be sacrificed. Your time will be sacrificed to a job you hate. Your energy will be sacrificed to people who don't respect you. Your future will be sacrificed to comfort and indecision. That's the trade. You're going to have to sacrifice sleep. While your friends are dreaming, you're grinding. They're drooling on pillows, you're making moves. You're going to have to sacrifice entertainment. While they're binge watching another useless show, you're studying, building, evolving. You're going to have to sacrifice friendships. Some people are not meant to come with you. Let them go, they're anchors, not wings. Yes, it's going to be lonely. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, you're going to want to quit. But ask yourself this: what's the alternative? Living like everyone else. Working a job you hate, pretending you're happy, living paycheck to paycheck, begging for time off, watching other people live your dream while you rot in comfort. That's not a life, that's a prison. The pain of sacrifice is temporary, but the pain of regret, that stays with you forever. It burns. It eats you alive at night. It reminds you that you had a chance, but you didn't take it because it was too hard. Don't be that guy. Don't be the man who almost made it. Be the one who made the sacrifice and came out victorious. Look, I get it. You're tired. You've been grinding and it feels like nothing's changing. But this is the moment where men are made. This is the exact place where most people give up. And the savage pushes harder, because he knows the storm always comes before the breakthrough. The darkness always shows up before the dawn. You've got to burn the old blueprint. The one that says you need 8 hours of sleep. The one that says weekends are for rest. The one that says you need to be balanced or realistic. All of that is trash. Winners don't think like that. Winners operate on a different frequency. They don't want what's fair. They want what's theirs, and they're willing to bleed for it. The dream you have in your head, it's possible, but only if you pay the price, and the price is high. It will cost you your time, your comfort, your bad habits, your distractions. You don't just stumble into greatness, you sacrifice your way into it. You pay for it with your blood, your sweat, your grind, your discipline. If you're not ready to sacrifice, you're not ready to win. No one's coming to save you. No mentor, no millionaire, no motivational speaker is going to do the work for you. You are the hero, you are the weapon, you are the answer, but you have to make a decision. You either commit 100% or stay broke, broken, and bitter. You've got to stop negotiating with weakness. Stop making deals with laziness. Every time you choose comfort, you kill momentum, you destroy progress. You push your dream one step further away, and every time you choose discipline, you build power, you gain ground, you get sharper, stronger, more dangerous. Ask yourself right now, what am I willing to sacrifice to get what I want? Because until you answer that question, don't talk about dreams, don't talk about goals, don't talk about success, because all of those things are earned through sacrifice. The man you want to become is on the other side of pain. He lives in the gym, he lives in the discomfort, he lives in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the missed parties, in the disciplined days. That man is real, but he's waiting for you to show him you're serious. There is no shortcut, there is no easy way. You want to win big, then you better be willing to give up everything that doesn't lead you to the throne, because this game doesn't reward the almost committed. It rewards the obsessed, the disciplined, the ones who give more, bleed more, and sacrifice more than anyone else. You want to separate yourself from the pack, then outwork everyone, out-suffer them. Outlast them, let them laugh, let them doubt, let them sleep. You don't need their validation, you need results, and results are born in the fire of sacrifice. Don't tell me you want to be successful. Show me what you're willing to give up. Show me how far you're willing to go. Show me you can suffer in silence, grind in the dark, and still move forward when everything in you wants to quit. Sacrifice is the real currency of success. You pay for your future with what you're willing to endure in the present. So the question is simple. Are you willing to pay the price, or are you just pretending? The reason most people will never win big is because they still think small sacrifices will lead to massive results. That's a lie sold by lazy minds. You're not going to build an empire by doing the bare minimum. You're not going to dominate by working normal hours and resting like you've already made it. You're not going to stand at the top by doing what everyone else is doing. Winning big demands that you become a completely different creature, ruthless, relentless, and fully committed to the mission. When you look at winners, the ones who dominate in every room they walk into, you'll notice one thing immediately: they've bled for it. They've suffered. They've been in the trenches while the rest of the world was asleep. They didn't become powerful by accident. They sacrificed more than you could imagine. While you were chasing distractions, they were chasing legacy. While you were checking your phone every 5 minutes, they were building something real, something unstoppable. You've got to stop living like time is unlimited. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. Every hour spent on nonsense is a direct attack on your future. You think your sacrifices are big, you skipped one party, and now you think you've earned something. You woke up early for a week, now you want applause? No, that's nothing, that's a warm-up. You haven't even begun to suffer yet. You haven't even started to pay the price, because if you had, you wouldn't need anyone to validate your grind. You'd be too deep into the mission to even notice. Winners don't seek sympathy, they don't want your pity, they don't care if you understand their pain, because they know what's waiting on the other side. They've seen the vision, and that vision is more powerful than any temporary struggle. They'd rather suffer for 5 years and win forever than live comfortable and lose for life. That's the difference, that's the separation. If you want to win big, you need to learn how to be alone. Most people can't stand silence. They need distractions. They need people to entertain them, validate them, comfort them. But when you cut all that off, when it's just you and your ambition, that's when you truly grow. That's when you start hearing your real voice, not the voice trained by society. Not the one filled with fear and hesitation, but the voice of the warrior you were born to be. You want to build something that lasts. Then you better prepare to lose some people. Your circle will shrink, your priorities will shift, and not everyone will understand the path you're walking. That's fine, they're not supposed to. Your vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you, so stop expecting them to see what you see. Stop needing their approval to chase your destiny. If they don't get it, let them go. They'll either catch up later or stay behind forever. Sacrifice isn't just about what you give up, it's about what you give to. It's about energy, focus, time, obsession. You give your best years to the mission. You invest every ounce of your being into the craft. You build, you fail, you build again. You keep moving forward, even when it feels like progress is invisible. Because deep down, you know every step you take in discipline is one step closer to domination. Most people fold because they expect quick results. They want instant gratification. They want the glory without the grind, but that's not how the world works. The real rewards are buried under layers of suffering, struggle, setbacks, and silence. And most people quit long before they ever get close. They walk away at 40%, at 60%, even at 90%, not realizing they were inches away from the breakthrough. But they didn't have the stamina. They didn't have the mindset. They weren't built for the long haul. You don't get to choose the price. Life sets the price for success, and it's non-negotiable. You either pay it or you settle. There's no middle. You either embrace the pain now or suffer regret later. You either build a legacy or fade into irrelevance. That's the trade. That's the contract. And you better believe that contract is written in blood. People talk about wanting freedom, but most aren't willing to pay for it. Freedom costs more than money. It costs your comfort, your ease, your time, your relationships. It costs your former identity. You have to kill the version of you that's chained to average. You have to bury the man who was okay with just surviving. You have to create a new beast, one who wakes up every day ready to sacrifice whatever it takes to move the mission forward. You've got to build calluses on your mind, harden yourself through repetition. Get so familiar with discomfort that it becomes your new standard. The grind becomes your peace. The sacrifice becomes your lifestyle. And eventually, what once felt impossible becomes automatic. The man who once needed motivation now moves on instinct. He doesn't ask, should I? He simply says it must be done. You've got to become immune to opinions. Everyone will have something to say about your sacrifices. You work too much. You've changed. You're no fun anymore. Good. That means you're evolving. That means you're leveling up. Let them talk. While they're talking, you're building. While they're laughing, you're winning. While they're relaxing, you're rising. If you want to be great, you've got to learn how to be hated. Because the moment you start making serious sacrifices, the average people around you will feel threatened. Your discipline exposes their laziness. Your ambition makes their excuses look pathetic. So they'll attack you. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing something they're too weak to do themselves. Let that fuel you. Let the isolation become your sanctuary. Let the silence sharpen you. Let the pain remind you that you're still alive, still in the fight, because most people are dead long before they hit the grave. They stopped trying, they stopped sacrificing, they traded their fire for convenience. Don't be like them, burn the map, walk your own path, build your own kingdom brick by painful brick, and don't expect applause, don't expect celebration. Your sacrifice is not for validation, it's for results. Let your success make the noise, let your life be the proof. When you walk into a room, the world should feel your presence, and that presence is built in silence, through sacrifice, when no one is watching. You're going to want to quit, that's part of the game. Your mind will scream at you to stop. It will beg for comfort, for ease, for escape. That's when you push harder. That's when you dig deep and find the savage inside. The one who doesn't care how hard it gets. The one who doesn't back down. The one who remembers why he started and refuses to stop until he wins. The world isn't fair, it never was, but that's not an excuse. That's an advantage, because most people will use that as a reason to give up. You'll use it as a reason to go harder. They'll complain, you'll conquer, they'll wait, you'll work, they'll wish, you'll win. You want to win big, then start thinking like a warrior. Start acting like a machine. Show up. Every day. No excuses. No negotiation. You don't feel like it. Too bad. You're tired. Good. That means you're working. You're doubting yourself. Perfect. Use that doubt to prove the voice in your head wrong. There's no cheat code, no shortcut, no hack. The only way out is through the pain, through the sacrifice, through the struggle. And when you come out the other side battle, tested, hardened, unshakable, you'll realize something powerful. The sacrifice wasn't the cost. It was the investment and the return. Freedom, power, peace, legacy. You get one shot at this life. One chance to see how far you can go, how high you can climb, how much you can build. Don't waste it playing small. Don't waste it surrounded by people who aren't willing to sacrifice. Don't waste it holding on to habits that sabotage your potential. The clock is ticking. The world is moving. The battlefield is waiting. You can step into it as a victim, or you can rise as a victor. But either way, you're going to pay. The only question is, will you pay the price of discipline now, or the price of regret forever? Sacrifice to win big. There is no other way. So here's the truth. Raw and undiluted, you don't get the life you dream of by wishing, waiting, or whining. You get it by bleeding for it, by sacrificing your comfort, your laziness, your weakness. You build it brick by brutal brick with discipline, pain, focus, and relentless action. You don't beg the world to hand you a throne, you take it. You become so undeniable, so relentless, so ferociously committed to the mission that life has no choice but to bend in your direction. In a world full of quitters, be the one who refuses to break. Sacrifice now. Dominate later, win forever.